Hey everyone, Daedric here. Today I want to talk about my favorite class, the Necromancer. Specifically, people seem to struggle with learning Necro DPS. As someone who's played the class a lot in in-game content, I think I can provide some insight into this problem. Necromancer is a very janky class. This video will be talking about some of those janky aspects. Necromancer is still a class worth learning despite these issues, as it's consistently been mid to top tier in content throughout its existence. Problem areas. There are 4 distinct problem areas that this video will address: Blastbones, Boneyard, Corpses, Dot Rotations. Blastbones. Blastbones is the only ability in the game that has a variable amount of time before it goes off. Blastbones cooldown is affected by distance, which is something that changes if there's any movement. Blastbones takes 3 GCDs to go off if you're less than 10 meters away, and 4 GCDs if further away. Trying to get 3 GCD Blastbones in a mobile fight requires a lot of micromanagement. A significant portion of your DPS comes from Blastbones, so not getting 3 GCD Blastbones is a massive DPS loss. Blastbones can also get stuck if the target dies, and you can't recast until the current Blastbones despawns. Be aware of the distance where Blastbones becomes 4 GCDs and try to play within it. Pay attention to situations where you know Blastbones will act up, like a boss transitioning, and play as if it were 4 GCDs. Boneyard. Boneyard has a tendency to not cast if you're casting too fast. It seems like it has an induction time that doesn't play well with latency. Here are examples of when you try to cast Boneyard too fast. Additionally, since it relies on corpses, it hurts to have to reposition it, as you'll have to wait till a corpse comes. When recasting Boneyard, wait a bit longer than other skills to prevent miscast. Ultimately though, the game will just sometimes not let you cast due to ping fluctuations. Corpses. Corpses add another layer of micromanagement to playing Necromancer. Siphon can't cast without a corpse, and Boneyard loses a lot of damage if it doesn't consume a corpse. Corpses can be very unpredictable, especially in mobile fights. This is due to Blastbones being unpredictable as to where it'll create a corpse. If you mismanage corpses, weird things can happen, like Siphon using corpses behind you, or Siphon trying to use corpses that don't exist. Make sure to pay attention to corpses in problematic fights. For example, don't try to cast Boneyard plus Siphon if you're not 100% sure you have 2 corpses. Dot rotations. While every class needs good dot uptimes, Necros are further incentivized due to their passive granting 15% damage done by dots. With this, stacking 7, 8, or even 9 dots with Blastbones is usually how you get the most DPS on Necro. Managing dots becomes one of the most essential ways to improve your DPS on Necro, even more so than light attacks and cast speed to a point. If you're not used to cycling through a lot of dots with spammable that has to be recast every 3rd GCD, it's going to be a rough learning curve. If the dot management feels like it's too much, try dropping a dot or 2 and replacing it with passive skills like Inner Light or Camo Hunter. Memorize your dot priorities. It matters a lot less if you're letting Caltrops fall off versus Archer, for example. Summary. All these issues come together and make a less than smooth experience playing the class. It takes practice to get used to these issues and effectively play around them. Historically, there's been other issues with the class that have made it an unfun experience. For example, they used to be the only source of major vulnerability, forcing every group composition to run at least 3 Necros, forcing people to play Necro even if it was unfun. With the addition of turning time, this has become less of an issue, as you can have decent major vulnerability uptimes with 0 Necros. Necromancer is a fun DPS class bogged down by the very poor interactions with the fast-paced mobile parts of the game. Here are some changes I wish DOTs would try in the future. Change Blastbones to always go off either 3 or 4 GCDs, and rebalance accordingly. No one in PvE or PvP enjoys their Blastbones taking a random amount of time to hit a target. With this, you could also remove the AI from it, increasing performance. Get rid of the Boneyard induction time. It's just an annoying byproduct of ground AoEs, and I don't see a balanced purpose for it. Let me know your thoughts on Necro DPS or Necromancer in general in the comments. If you like the content and want more, leave a like. Have a great day!